16th of June, Rabbi Levitt, Chaim.
Okay, let's see where we're holding over here. Oh, we started Klal Ches. So Klal Ches. So let's go to the halacha aleph, the os aleph over here. In the Hebrew, it starts ein chiluk the iser. There's no difference in regard to the prohibition of relating lashon hara. Bein im hamasaper isha isha korov rachok. Oh yeah, we actually did this. Okay, so let's go to O space. O space. Vi'ata naschil levaer ami asra haTorah lesaper lashon hara. Now we're going to begin to explain on whom the Isser Torah to relate lashon hara is going on. Let's see what he means over here.
So what page? What are we on? What klal? What 3? Gimel?
This is Klal Ches, so it's category 8. I don't know how they translate Klal. Principle, maybe. First of all, it's in Sefer. It's in your first Sefer. It's in your first Sefer of Sefer Chofetz Chaim, which relates to halachas of lashon hara, as opposed to the halachas of rechilas. And then once you get to Klal Ches, I think, what did we say the other day? Maybe Lou knows what page we're on here. Have to get to a Svarim store and get this Sefer.
Unfortunately, I know 299 is the page where we have halacha bet.
299.
Yeah.
Okay. And it starts out the Ata Natchil Levaer?
Yes.
Okay. So you heard that, Alan? Page 299.
Right?
Al mi asra haTorah l'saper lashon hara.
Right.
On who it is usher to say lashon hara about. I think what he means to say is, right? You have person number 1 talking to person number 2 about person number 3. So now, the Chofetz Chaim is saying we're going to explain now. There's rules about this person number 3. Who does the Torah say is usher to say lashon hara about? Who does this person number 3 got to be? And we'll continue. Isser lashon hara hu bein al ish o isha ve'ein chiluk bein ishtoi le'isha cheretz. So first thing he says, it's likewise forbidden to speak about women as well as men.
Right.
And there's no difference even if it's his own wife as opposed to someone else's wife. All of these individuals, there is an isser to speak about them lashon hara. Rabim nikshalim bezeh, babu nesenu arabim. Unfortunately, in our days, many people are stumbling in this regard. Shehutar beinehem, because they, in their eyes, they think that it's permissible. L'saper gnus al ishtoi, ubeis chosno, lifnei echov ubeis aviv. Okay, people think that it's when you're in if a person is together with Echov means his brothers. Ubeis Aviv means his father's house. He thinks that in such familiar surroundings that it's permissible to relate the degradation of his wife or his wife's father's house in front of his father's house or his brothers. But this is not true. It's absolutely usher. Umidina ein shum nafkamina bezeh. It's absolutely forbidden. Im lo chavein bezeh letoelis ala haba lo liganosam. Unless, in relating what he's saying over here, he has a toelis that he's intending to accomplish over here, or and on top of that, he does not mean to degrade his wife or his wife's family in front of them. He's relating to them this information because there's a certain necessity to that there is going to be a benefit that will come out from relating this information. V'gam lo ya'arev b'dvarav shum sheker. And of course, he's not allowed to include any exaggeration or words that are untrue about his wife or his wife's family. V'kol dinoi hu kafi ma shebavur l'kamon b'klal yud b'sif yud gimel be'elech ayin sham. And more about this is included later on. He calls these sifim. Okay, so we'll call it that too. So we go to sif gimel. Sif means like subsection. Ulefamin shayach is a lashon hora, afilu al katan. And sometimes it's even possible to transgress the prohibition of lashon hora in regard to a katan. Kigon l'saper gnusoy shel yasam katan shemagadle oso acherim betok beitam. For example, an orphan, a minor orphan, less than bar mitzvah age, who's being raised by others in their house. Al yidei zeh yuchal lihisavev shigarshu oso meitam. This can cause, this lashon hara could cause that the people that are taking care of him will decide to send him somewhere else. V'kol v'kein kol kihai gavna heicha al yedei sipuro yisovev lahazik lahakotan o lahatzer lo al yedei zeh. And so in any situation where it could cause a damage to the cotton or cause him tsar unnecessarily, so it would be usher. Ve'imu davar mefursam al cotton zeh. If it's something that he's relating, which everybody knows about, so then he says, take a look elsewhere. What's the halacha about that? But if he's doing what he's saying in order to remove a nezik from the cotton, or to guide him in the proper path, so then it will be permissible. Aksorik chieda mitchila beverur shasipro hu emes v'lo lemaher l'smoch al zeh sheshama bipi acherim. He has to know himself from his own knowledge that what he's relating to these other people is absolutely true. and that he's not just relying on what somebody else told him, and he doesn't really know whether it's true or not. וגם צורך לרוס את הנולד על ידי סיפורוי. כי פעמים הרבה יוצא משפט מעוקל מעניונים כאלו. And additionally, he needs to see liros es anolad. He's got to really think deeply about what effect his relating of this information, which is not so complimentary about this katan, to the ones that he is relating it to, in order to because he says sometimes could come out a mishpat me'ukal. You want to know what is a mishpat me'ukal? I also would like to know that. Some type of a that he's going to be unfairly judged by people who would withhold good from him for no proper reason.
There's actually a couple of scenarios here
Okay.
that relate to this point you just made. Scenario E is a third grade Rebbe as a student who cannot focus on his learning for more than a few minutes at a time. If, in anticipation of the next school year, the Rebbe warns the fourth grade Rebbe about the student's issue, the report might undermine the child's chance to make a fresh start with a clean slate. Unless the information is absolutely necessary for the new teacher or Rebbe to know, such a report is prohibited.
Wow. Very interesting.
The next scenario, if the gabbai of a shul is seeking the identity of the person responsible for causing damage in the shul, and Reuven knows that Shimon, who is a minor, is the culprit, Reuven may not inform the gabbai. He should rather tell Shimon's father, who may wish to compensate the shul, though strictly speaking, he is not liable for the child's damages.
Very interesting.
I also heard in another shir that one of the 7 things you have to worry about before speaking Lashon Hara is how much damage are you potentially causing the third person. For example, if you know that somebody who is a renter in somebody's house is stealing, but what he's stealing is small stuff, and you're concerned that if you tell the house owner, he will kick the tenant out, and the tenant will suffer financial loss. If the financial loss that this tenant is going to suffer is greater than the fine that the Beis Din would issue if he was taken to Beis Din on the charge of theft, then you're not allowed to reveal the information
To the landlord. Uh-huh.
Right.
And unless there's 2 witnesses, I don't think you'd be allowed to be related to the Beis Din either. Not so pashut.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very interesting. Okay. Oh, do they happen to give a source for those 2 scenarios about the Rebbe and the tenant? Is that they're bringing like psak halacha from Migros Moshe or from some other poskim.
The first one doesn't have a reference, but the second one says Chut Shani, Chutshani.
Yeah, sure. Reb Nissen Karelitz. That's all. One of the Gedolia poskim here in Eretz Yisrael. Was nifter about, 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. Very interesting. So they're bringing, based upon the psak halacha of poskim, these scenarios. It's very, very valuable notes that they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the Chofetz Chaim is just bringing general kalalim over here. I mean, he's trying as much as he can to flesh it out and make it understandable. But the actual details and the cases that to which what he's saying applies, that takes a Reb Nissen Karelitz to paskin.
Right.
Okay. That's interesting. They don't have any source for that with that example with the third grade Rebbe telling to the fourth grade Rebbe.
Correct.
Because I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that was like standard operating procedure in Chadorim, that this Rebbe tells the next year's Rebbe about the class. But according to what you're saying, that's absolutely forbidden.
Yeah.
They're saying that what he did in third grade is that was third grade. That already happened. There's nothing. What does the fourth grade Rebbe need to know about that for? Let him judge him. Let him not judge him. Let him not prejudge him. That's the idea. And like that, the student will perhaps he has an opportunity now to start with a new slate, and that's what a new year is all about. Starting with a new slate. That's what we say on Rosh Hashanah. We're forgiven for what we did on the previous year, and now we start a new year, a new slate.
But it does depend on whether the information is necessary. For example, I was a teacher for a couple of years, and I had a student. This was a Jewish school, Orthodox Jewish school, and the student would brag that he got drunk last night.
Oh boy.
And it didn't seem right to me. So I investigated, and I found out that this student had learning disabilities, and he was embarrassed. So he made up that he got drunk in order to give an alternative reason for his disability.
Uh-huh.
And as a result of that, as a result of my learning this, I made accommodations for him. I used to enlarge. I gave him different material than the rest of the class, and I used to enlarge it for him because he couldn't read the regular print.
Oh wow!
So, I had to tell the next Rebbe about that.
Okay.
In particular, in this situation, the father was in denial.
Uh-huh.
So I was doing this on my own. I mean, I talked to the father, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't know he was in denial. But, he said, he's just lazy and, he spends so much time on the computer and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, interesting.
And I found out from the therapist that the computer was a coping mechanism for his disability. And so I had to inform the school that this child needed special accommodations.
You mean he didn't really belong in that school?
No, he belonged in the school. This school was a school for troubled children.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of them were discipline problems, not disabilities.
Oh, I see. And they're all grouped together because they don't have money for two schools like that. They don't want a school that has just disciplinary problems. Who would want to teach there?
Exactly. So I felt I needed to inform them that.
Okay. Yeah.
Special treatment.
He shouldn't be too quick to judge him like his father did. He should know in advance what the background is for his behavior. Yeah. Okay. True. Okay. Very good. Wow. You really took a lot of responsibility to take care of that boy.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but I felt good about doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a tremendous that he had from you as a result of your caring for him.
Yeah, he definitely improved during the year.
Wow. Baruch Hashem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, very good. Yashikoyach. Yeah, that's why we need the art scroll over there. It's very valuable notes that they have, giving us the halacha l'maisa from on how these principles that the Chofetz Chaim is talking about play out in real life reality. So we go to Sif Daled. Vada. Isser Sipur Lashon Hara Hu Afilu Al Am Haaretz. You should know that the prohibition against speaking even to an Am Haaretz, Higam Hu B'chlal Am Hashem, Utzvosav Shehotziam Mimitzrayim. He's also included in the category of being part of the nation of Hashem and his legions who he took out of Mitzrayim. The Kol Shekain Imhu Talmud Chacham. All the more so, however, is it prohibited to speak Lashon Hara about someone who is a Talmud Chacham. B'vadai hamasaper Lashon Hara olav avonu gadol harbe yoter. It's a much more serious transgression against a Talmud Chacham to say Lashon Hara. V'amru Chazal, kol hamasaper acham bitaso shel Talmud Chacham nofel b'gehenim shenemar v'chulei. More in brachas, whoever relates acham bitaso shel Talmud Chacham, he falls into Gehenim. Let's just finish what the Chofetz Chaim says over here. That maybe if we have time to look up the Gemara, we could do that. Kama pamim. Oh, just a second. No, it's okay. V'kama pamim niknas al yidei zeh b'chlal mevaze Talmud Chacham. Sometimes, more than once, it could come into a separate prohibition of degrading a Talmud Chacham, which is a very serious Torah prohibition. V'yadu godel ansho shel hamavaze Talmud Chacham k'deisa b'chelik. Nifsak kain b'yoradeya, paskin in the Shulchan Aruch, k'devar Hashem boza b'zeh. The word of Hashem he has despised. Ikaris tikaris sanefesh shahi. Such a person that does so intentionally is chayav chorus. Very serious. So it's not really. I mean, we know it's an interesting lashon that the Gemara uses over here. I'd like to look into that. Kol ha'mesaper acher mitoso. Literally, it means everyone who relates, anyone who relates after the bed of a Talmud Chacham. What's the bed got to do with the matter? We got some time over here. Maybe we'll take a look at this Gemara. It's a Gemara in Brachos Yud Tes. Yud Tes Amid Aleph. Oh, here we go. Baruch Hashem.
Where are you on this?
Yeah. So this is Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. This is conveniently located. The first two dots on the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide lines down. That's where this story starts over here. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Be'esrim ve'arba makomos bezdin menadin al kfod harav. V'kulan sheninu b'mishnasenu. We find 24 places that the Bezdin puts a person in excommunication in regard to the matter of the honor of a rabbi.
What page are you on?
It's 19A2 if you have an art scroll. It's the left-hand column, and it's the third paragraph down.
Chofetz Chaim?
The Gemara cites.
Oh, we're in the Gemara
I can't hear you, Alan. You have to come closer to your computer.
The Gemara or lesson?
We're in the Gemara in Brachos.
Okay. The next statement is Amarle. We're going to get to the statement that we want to in a minute over here. Amarle Rabbi Elazar, Heicha. Where are these matters which you're categorizing as matters that involve the honor of a Rav? Where are they listed? Amarle, l'chi tishkach. Meaning to say, go and find them. They're spread out all over the all the sources in the Torah. No fakdak. So Rabbi Elazar took the advice, and he went out, and he investigated. The eshkach talas. He found three things. 3 places in the Mishnayos that we learned that we put a person in nidui in regard to the honor of a Rav. First one, hamazalzel benetilas yodayim, meaning to say he doesn't wash netilas yodayim before he eats bread. And that is that's a takanas chazal, takanas chachamim, and he is that's called he's been
Rabbi,
careless with the honor of the chazal, I guess.
Rabbi, my English says that he belittles the rabbinic requirement of washing.
Oh, okay. So even if he does do the mitzvah, but he speaks derogatorily about it, is already enough to be in violation over here of this kvod harav.
Right.
Okay, I hear. Let's see what Rashi has to say over here. Rashi doesn't have anything to say over here. I could see.
According to the footnote, there's a Rashi a little bit on the third item.
Okay. So that's the first item. The second item is hamasaper akam bitasa shel talmud chacham. And the third, so we don't know exactly what that is. Maybe we'll see the Rashi in a moment. Maybe Rashi will clue us in. And the third thing is hameges dato klape mala. Also, not really clear what that is referring to either. Let's see if Rashi helps us out.
Dibur Hamaskil is Tzarich Ata Lehis Nados.
Sarich ata lehis nados. That's interesting because we don't have that lashon in the section that I read.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is funny. Okay, I found the Rashi. It's opposite the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's opposite the 9th wide line, not in counting down.
Yeah, but see, the Rashi that deals with our section is all the way up on the third, the end of the third wide line, on all the way in the top. It says v'chaf daled makomos. That's what Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said. In 24 places, the Beis Din puts nidui on a person al kvod harav.
Right.
Over there, Rashi just says hashta mashma mitzinu shenodu chachamim b'nei adam b'chaf daled makomos lekvod harav lefi shaloi nosu kvod lerabam.
Right, but it goes on to say, so Rabbi Eliezer found 3 cases. And then this is the third of the 3.
That's what the Gemara says, but where does Rashi? There's no Rashi on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My footnote says that the Dibra Maskil Tzarich Atah Lehis Nadot is commenting on the third of the 3.
Okay, we'll read it. Tzarich atalis nados. You need to his nados, which really means you need to put yourself in cherem. His nados is a reflexive form of the verb, not to put someone else in cherem. Lefisha triach lifnei amakom, because you have bothered, you have caused tircha before hamakom, before Hashem, al esik geshamim, in regard to the matter of rain. O kakshalti kamapamim, ukvod hamakom kvod haravhu.
So my footnote says, speaking insolently to Hashem also falls under the category of denigrating the honor of a teacher, since the honor that is due to a teacher of Torah derives from the honor that is due to Hashem.
The honor of honoring a teacher derives from the... Well, that's interesting.
So in the Gemara, it says, megis dato kalape ma'ala. And the word ma'ala, which it translates as above, the English says the one above.
Okay, so let me try to understand what this you're explaining from this Rashi. Rashi is saying that someone who speaks out of turn improperly with insolence in regard to Hashem is obviously he's in violation of speaking insolently in regard to Hashem, but we're even saying a further chiddush that it constitutes a lack of kavod for the rabbonim.
Right.
Because why? Because the kvod of Hashem is the kvod of a rav. See, I would understand that what that means is exactly the opposite. I would understand that if someone denigrates a rav, that would constitute a denigration of Hashem, because the rav is is Hashem's representative, so to speak. He represents the Torah because he knows what the Torah says. And so to denigrate him would be to denigrate the Torah that Hashem gave us. So therefore, that would constitute a denigration of Hashem. But to say that the denigration of Hashem would constitute the denigration of a Rav, that's quite an interesting thing to say.
Well, let's say a person says, this hand washing, this is nonsense. There's no such thing as tuma, and washing your hands, is a waste of time. So that's talking against Hashem directly. But you might say, who taught him about the halachas of washing hands? It was a rabbi or rabbis who taught him. So he's saying the teaching of these rabbis is nonsense.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. In other words, it reflects badly. It reflects badly on the Rav,
Right?
Because it makes it sound like the Rav didn't get through to this Talmud over here that he thinks such a thing.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Let's see if I have another note over here. Lahalan Haviwa Gemora es a Mishnah. Okay. As far as Bendido is that Mashama Dubar ala Mispala Kodesh Baruch Mivakish Imenu, the Kashas, da. Kain Kasim Meiri, Megis died to Klapimala, Rotsa Lomar, Shemet Mispala, Lufonov, the Derek Shells, Companion. Stimus and Gemora Mashma, the Horish and the Nadim is called a Megis Klapimala. The Afim who also zos the Ofanim Achib. Okay, wow. So at the end of the day, we're left with very little understanding of what we wanted to, what I wanted to know about. What does it mean exactly to be Mesaper Acha Mitasan Shel Talmidei Chachamim? What does it mean, Acha Mitasan? Oh, no. Oh, the way I think I have an explanation over here. Now, we know that the mita, when we talk about a mita in Chazal, it has two meanings. It has a meaning of his physical bed when he goes to sleep, what he does over there, and it also has a connotation of the when he's carried in a mita, they call it, in order to take him to bury him. So to speak to mesaper la'acha mitasan shel Talmid Chacham means to speak in denigration about him as he is being brought to burial, meaning after he's already nifter, to speak about him then. And therefore we have a chiddush, even after he has passed away from this world, it's totally forbidden to speak in denigration about him. All the more so, of course, in his lifetime. Okay. That's that Gemara. And we are out of time. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a good
Yashikoyach. Okay, all the best. Have a great Shabbos and Mazel Tov to Alan
Thank you.
on a bar mitzvah of a grandson.
Wow.
What's the grandson's name?
Yeshua.
Yoshua. Wow. Mazel Tov to Yoshua and to Shraga and to Alan. 3 generations. Bez Hashem.
Wow.
Learning Torah and doing mitzvahs. Bez Hashem. He should grow up to be a Talmid Chacham and a tzaddik.
Amen.
All the best. Have a good Shabbos.
Okay.